Hi everybody, welcome to Vanessa's van life journey. I am Vanessa and I live in a van and her name is Treasure. I'm sitting in Miss Charlene's van. We are driving around the city of Houston looking for a van. I want to talk to y'all about looking for a vehicle. We've been looking for a vehicle. We going to dealerships. We seen a couple of ads on Craigslist. We done been to see a couple of vans, and I just want to talk to y'all about doing your due diligence as far as looking for a van, what to look out for, what to know, and all of that stuff. First of all, when you look for a van, you're gonna have your budget. Just because somebody has something listed for $14,000 and your budget is $10,000, don't count that vehicle out, because
we ain't counting it out.
How you just gonna jump in the van and start talking?
I did, didn't I? Right now we need something more reliable than worrying about the price.
I'm recording. So you're free to talk, because I would like you to talk instead of just being quiet. But you're free to talk. But I just would like you to know that you are talking to my camera. You thought I was just in here. You got in the van.
I thought you were talking to
and
Pauline.
I was talking, and you thought I was just talking to myself.
No, I thought you were talking to Pauline.
You know me and Pauline don't get along. Charlie,
you long time.
Pauline, you love me long time. The trolls say you don't like me, girl. Oh, she don't like me. You know I wasn't talking to your sister.
Okay.
Anywho,
Yikes.
Anywho, back to my conversation before I was so rudely interrupted. So y'all, when y'all looking on Craigslist, or even when you go to a dealership and you look at a vehicle and they want more than what you have for a budget, don't count that vehicle out. Ask them. I mean, listen, it's, you know how they say it's no such thing as a dumb question. All people could tell you is no. When you leave off of that dealership, that lot, you never gonna see them people ever again in life. So don't just accept whatever price people tell you for something, especially when it comes to a huge purchase like that. Try to see if you could save you a couple of $1,000s. Especially if you're paying cash for something, y'all. If you're paying cash for something, you could definitely, you might even be able to save you like $5,000. Tell them that's all the money I got. Girl, now is the time to turn on every po-po me story that you got. You just got $10,000. You need enough money for tax, title, and license. You can't let them people know you balling like that, girl, because they gonna try to get whatever they could get out of you. However many pennies, however many dimes, however many thousands of dollars that they can get out of you, that is their job, to get it out of you. And most people always mark a price up. Most people always have a bottom line. And they always mark it up, and they don't start at their bottom line, because they want to leave room for negotiation, because they know and they're prepared for somebody to negotiate. But some people don't believe in negotiating and just accept, I didn't see nothing over there, and just accept whatever the people say. So when you don't negotiate, you're giving them more than what they actually wanted for it. So always try to negotiate something, you guys, and just let people know. I know people don't want to know your problems, but now is the time to tell people your problems. That I need to pay the tax, title, and license, or I want to buy something reliable and I like this vehicle, but it's a little too steep for my blood. So I have gotten We recently was looking at a vehicle and we got it down almost $5,000 from what they originally asked for. And then that brings me to my second point. Like, the seller's responsibility is not to you. The seller's responsibility is not to be honest to you. The seller's responsibility is not to be informative to you and to tell you anything about that vehicle. If you don't ask, they don't have to tell. And even if you ask, doesn't mean that what they're telling you is honest. It don't mean they're being honest with you. So ask questions, read body language. Like somewhere we looked at a van and I was asking questions, y'all, and you could tell the person was uncomfortable with the questions. Like, I noticed on the vehicle, which was not advertised in the Craigslist ad, that the vehicle had been wrecked. They didn't advertise in the ad that it had been wrecked. They didn't show pictures that it had been wrecked. But when I went to go see the van was wrecked. So I asked them, had the van been in an accident? They was like, no, well, yeah. And then they didn't say nothing else. No, well, yeah means what? How do you kind of, sort of get in an accident? Charlene, how do you kind of, sort of get in an accident? A kind of, sort of accident leaves you with no damage. A kind of, sort of, I almost got in an accident, but not really. That leaves you with no damage. But an accident actually leaves you with physical damage, right? So once you have physical damage on a vehicle, it ain't no kind of, sort of.
Exactly.
So how did this vehicle kind of, sort of get into a wreck? Either it was in a wreck or it wasn't in a wreck. So that's the first thing. Like, when you're talking to somebody and you ask that person a logical question that you could physically see the answer to, and they lie to you, buyer beware. Because they're being dishonest. I would rather somebody so I'm gonna go up here and then turn back around because I don't think it's no more on this side. I would rather somebody be wholeheartedly, openly honest with me at the beginning and say, this is a wrecked vehicle. This vehicle has been wrecked. This vehicle has body damage. This vehicle has this that needs to be fixed and that needs to be fixed. And this is a quick sale that needs work. And I would rather for you to tell me that and to be honest than to try to sell me something and put something off on me without being honest about it. And even when I ask you the question, has the vehicle been in an accident, you still tell me kind of, sort of. So then one vehicle we looked at, it had a light on. It had a light on that said ESC. I asked the person, what does the ESC light mean? They said, I don't know. Okay, so you were the previous owner of this vehicle. You drove this vehicle every day. The vehicle has damage on it that you're denying and not acknowledging, but a blind man could see that the vehicle got damage on it. So the ESC light is on, and you tell me you don't know what the ESC light is. So me and Miss Charlene and Miss Pauline, we looked up what the ESC light meant. And it's like, you got to take that to the dealer. You got to take it to the dealer. You got to get that. So you're telling me that this person owned this vehicle. They did not take that vehicle to the dealer to find out what the ESC light is. Why you want to buy something from somebody that's not maintaining the vehicle? So since you don't, I'm going with your answer. So you read stuff into answers. So since you don't know what's wrong with the vehicle, then you mean to tell me you was driving the vehicle and you never ever had it checked? Who wants to buy a vehicle from somebody that's not going to get it checked? Who want to buy a vehicle from somebody that's not doing regular maintenance on So then the person also said they wouldn't answer my question specifically, but they were giving me answers to my question in more ways than they knew. So then they told me that they went and bought another van. Okay, so you got a van, so why are you going to buy another one? You got a van, so why you went and bought another one and you turning around trying to sell this one? Because obviously something is wrong with this van. And so then we looking at the van, y'all. We are looking at the van. And this is like my second or third time going around a van, and that's your job. Your job is to walk that van 3-4 times, looking up and looking down. You see stuff differently every time you look at it, from a different angle, from a different position. You see stuff differently. So this time I'm walking around a van, girl, I see that one of the windows in the back is busted out and replaced with plexiglass. The owner of the van, who was showing me the van, did not say this window got busted out and you're gonna have to have this replaced. How dishonest is that? You're gonna sell a vehicle to somebody and you're not even gonna tell them it got a busted window. So you're gonna leave that for me to find out later. So all of those things added in together tells me that this person is dishonest, tells me there's a check engine light on, there's an ESC light on, the vehicle has been wrecked and he hasn't admitted it, and on top of that, the back window is busted out. So my conclusion is, it had a cracked windshield. It had a cracked windshield on it that was not advertised. None of this stuff was advertised in the Craigslist ad, by the way. Then I'm seeing it in person, and you're not even acknowledging any of this stuff to me in person. All of that led me to the conclusion that this is a dishonest person. There possibly could be something seriously wrong with this vehicle, and they would never tell me. So y'all, that led me to the conclusion was, I wouldn't spend my money with that person. Like, loyalty and honesty and respect is everything. And if you are even buying something, even buying a vehicle from somebody, y'all, you are trusting that person. That is a part of trust. You're building trust with that person because you're trusting that they're selling you something that is not rigged. And you can't trust nobody. You don't know them people from a can of paint. You can't trust nobody. Them people is all out for self. They want to sell their vehicle. Oh Lord, look at them homeless people living over there, girl. They got it looking. Girl, I would have that looking like a mansion up over there. I would not be living like that. Child, the city of Houston will come give me an award for best homeless person living under a bridge. But anyway, y'all, people who sell vehicles are all out for self. There's no such thing as loyalty to you. They don't owe you nothing. You have to do your due diligence. You have to ask your questions. You have to read the body language. You have to get the answer from them the best way you can. And you have to be responsible for because once you spend that money, y'all, it's as is. Once you spend your money, I have bought plenty of vehicles where I got and did not realize until afterwards, like soon as you drive away with the car, you got. It's too late to go back and get your money and call the police and say, I want my money back. They didn't tell me this. Because it's as is, where is. You ask all the questions. If you have any doubts, don't spend your money on nothing that you have doubts on, y'all. Don't do it. And don't rush. Like, you might be saying, oh, I need a car right now. And I got to get to work tomorrow, so I'm going to go buy this vehicle because it seems promising. Girl, don't do it. If you have time to take a vehicle to a mechanic, if you have time to take another thing, y'all, don't take a shade tree mechanic with you. I'm gonna tell you one reason why. Because a shade tree mechanic is dependent on you to help him pay his bills, right? So you think a shade tree mechanic gonna tell you that the car got this problem and that problem? Because if you buy a car with problems, that means he gonna have some work. I'm just saying, I think of stuff from a logical perspective. If you buy a car with problems, that means you're gonna bring it to him to work on it. Don't take your... Tell a person, I have to take this vehicle to the mechanic shop, and if after you looked at all the vehicles that you want to look at and you want to have an inspection done on that vehicle, and you decide on the one that you want, it might cost you $200, $300, $400, $500 to go get an inspection. If you can afford to do that, do it. And go take it to a mechanic shop. Like my mechanic, the other mechanic shop over there off the freeway of 59 and Aldi, Melrod, or whatever that is, they charge $50 for like a diagnostic. When you go in and you tell them, they charge $50. Now, I don't know if they charge $50 for a full looking at something and telling you what's wrong with it. But if you're spending a lot of money on something, it's worth $200 or $300 for you to go get it checked. But I just know how to ask a lot of questions. I know how to look for certain things. Another thing is, when you buy a vehicle, make sure the gas tank is full of gas. I bought a vehicle before that somebody sold to me that had it on E. And they met me at a gas station to look at it. And they say, oh, you're going to need to get some gas. As soon as I filled up that gas tank with gas, I smelled gas immediately. And it was something wrong with the gas. I had to replace that whole gas tank. And I ended up replacing that whole gas tank on that vehicle twice. So don't buy a vehicle, like if you test driving a vehicle and it's on E, tell them, can you please go fill it up? If it's not worth it to them to go fill up a car that you want to test drive because you need to drive it 15, 20, 30 miles, then guess what? Say, well, I'm not going to be interested in driving it. And if they say, why? I say, well, somebody sold me. Let them know you own to them. Say, somebody sold me a vehicle before that had a gas tank problem. And they had it on E. So I want to double check and make sure there's no fuel problem. So anywho, y'all, just do y'all due diligence. Don't be in a rush. Take your time. Read body language. And watch other people's videos, things that they've learned from purchasing a vehicle. And you never know, it might be one tip within that whole video that you never thought about before, and that one tip might save you thousands of dollars, because we all can learn from other people's mistakes. Like, that's the whole point, is not to make the mistake yourself and learn from other people's mistakes. And I have made tons of mistakes being a female and even purchasing a vehicle at a young age, and had no knowledge of how to purchase a vehicle. People gonna get you. They see you coming. They gonna get you. They grateful you came. So, you know how they say, it's a fool born every day, girl. I used to be young, dumb, and stupid, but not no more. I am old. I'm an old wise whatever, girl. And if a person is uncomfortable with you asking them questions about something that you're about to purchase, that's the first red flag. If they are uncomfortable with you asking questions, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have 101 questions. And if somebody is the owner of a vehicle and they tell you, I don't know, that's the second red flag. How you gonna own a vehicle and you gonna tell me you don't know? Like he don't know what the ESC light is. Man, you know what the ESC light was. You just didn't want me to know. And then when we looked it up, it was something very serious. It was something very serious that you got to go take to the dealership. Who wants to buy? And then another thing, who wants to buy a car? And as soon as you buy it, You spending $15, $16, $17, $18,000 on a car. As soon as you leave with it, you got to go take it to the dealership to get an ESC light for them to only tell you you got to replace something that costs $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. And then you got to go get a window replaced that's probably gonna cost you $1,000. Then you got to do this, and then who wants to spend that kind of money on something? Take your time and find something that's worth your money that you're willing to spend. So anyway, y'all, that's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. We are driving around looking for some vehicles. I didn't see nothing over there. It's another street I can go down to that have a lot of vans. I'm gonna go down that street later after it's some more vehicles, places this way. But I'm gonna have to come back up to go down that other street if we don't find nothing. But anyway, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know if this video was helpful. Also, if you have any tips for people who are shopping for vehicles, or you have any experiences where you learned a life lesson and you think somebody else can benefit from it, leave it in the comments bar below. Sharing is caring, and that's how we as a community are going to be able to make wiser decisions based on informative information. Everybody got an opinion, and opinions don't mean nothing but information. You know, a lot of people want to criticize and ridicule and talk about other people, but they actually don't have no advice to actually pass on to people. They just want to judge people. So if you have something that you want to say that's of importance and it's some information that you could pass on to somebody, leave it in the comments bar below, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye now. And hopefully when we see you again, we would have made an informed decision on purchasing a vehicle, and then I can come back with Miss Charlene and Pauline and ask them how this experience was. And they probably gonna say it was grueling. And they glad it's over with. So anyway, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Bye now.